won a match until this World Cup. So, you know, so much to play for them.
That's a very good point. Yes, it adds to the motivation, and the fact that it's Australia increases it several-fold. To actually get a good result and be in contention with Canada, the longer they can do that, the greater the credit they must take and will feel. And they've got a penalty here. What would happen there?
Well, Al Baxter, the one penalised for just folding in there. But remember that terrific game that Canada had in 1991 against the All Blacks in France?
Yeah, 29, I'm just looking it up, I'm not being clever here, but 29-13 in the quarter-final. Yeah, yes.
And a very, very competitive Canadian side.
Yeah. Don't think Rod Snow was in that one. Nearly was. Been in 3 before. His farewell today. And I think as every minute passes here, as I said, you know, conditions have helped Canada in a sense that they've certainly not made life easier for Australia to dominate and show their superior skills, which undoubtedly they do have. But there's I just sense a much more inspirational effort from Canada. As you can see from that, they're just piling in. They are on a high.
Well, I think they're taking the coach at the word.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the tackler there, Mark Chisholm, was you know, on the wrong side, and you know, I think when you get in those sorts of positions, you run the risk of getting a damn good shoeing. But
for those who've just joined us here, what was it Rick Suggett said?
It was a very technical expression. We're going to go out and kick the crap out of the Australians.
Well, they're making a good fist of it at the moment. That's Stephen in some trouble, but still making some sort of impact. But I think that may have been ripped away from Canada. It has. Turnover ball. Maybe Australia needed that sort of kick in the pants to get into this one. Huxley goes wide to Takiri.
Don't touch the Scotland. Don't touch the Scotland.
I wish people had said that in my day.
Hands away on the ball. Back foot, no number 3.
Accordingly, again, that's the big second row, Nathan Sharp, and well, fine, but kick it into touch, and it's a throw into the opposition.
Well, you have to give credit to the Canadian defence. They're slowing the ball down at the contact areas for Australia, and it's just allowing their defence to realign, get organised, and then the commitment is second to none. They're really throwing themselves into the tackles.
Well, I know Rick Suggett said he wanted them, particularly those who are bowing out, to play the game of their lives, and they're certainly giving it full throttle at the moment. Some of these old hands, that's Rod Snow just getting up after being dumped. Player who's, people of course in the UK will remember him 190 times with Newport. Before that played for Eastern Province in South Africa, but ended up back in his homeland in Newfoundland, but became quite a stalwart of the Barbarians too in the UK, and irrepressible over the last 13 seasons. John Thiel, another who extraordinarily not only has played around Llanelli and Bridgend and Sale and Narbonne, but actually the number 3, I must pick him out because here's a player who's played after having had open heart surgery. John Thiel, the number 3 prop, there he is on this near side. Extraordinary. Nice. And that was only in 2006.
Really?
Yeah. Hope someone gave him the all clear.
Well, of course,
scary, really. That was not to do with rugby either.
Simon Best had problems as well.
Yeah. Happily.
No more. We both attempt to get a bind. Yep. We have to play without
yes, the earlier, more serious worries seem to have evaporated a little bit.
Yeah.
From what I've heard this morning. Well, the rain is unrelenting, Tolson. How are you doing down there? You drowned rat yet?
Absolutely. I hope you're enjoying that nice glass of red up there after the coffee, David. But down here on the sideline, it certainly looks as if the Canadian team are the ones who are the better of the two at the moment. They just seem to be scrambling. Much better is the word I can use for the little balls that are on the ground, Nigel. That's what they seem to be doing better. More enthusiasm from the Canadian team.
Yeah, they're much more fired up, and they're just making life uncomfortable for Australia at the moment. 22 minutes, 3-0 would not be pleasing this man. Doesn't look that cheerful the best of times. A bit like Graham Henry. Didn't see him smile while New Zealand were playing and scoring 13 tries.
Let's see if Australia can make something out of this one. They've had all the territorial pressure.
Correct. McMenamin to Freer. So back to what they did at the very, very beginning. Advantage here as someone gets decked and obstructs in the way about 8-10 metres out. Kiri turns it back to the support accordingly.
Let go now, boys.
Well, I think that's going to be advantage played again. This is Takiri. Penalty against Mike James for offside. Well, he knows where to be to get in the way, that's for sure. I've seen him do that with Staff, I'd say. Try in the corner. And finally... Well, what relief for Australia.
Well, there was an air of inevitability about that. Canada's defence was right up in the faces of the Australians, and they made it very, very difficult for them.
Well, inevitable somehow that it would be a prop forward scoring for his first ever time in his... Actually, it's his 50th international today. This is his first try, and he was obviously waiting for it out there. Al Baxter.
But it was just Australia flooded that narrow side. Al Baxter was out there on his own to start off with, and Rod Snow drifted out to try and cover him. But then Australia flooded the blind side, and it was just a little bit too much for Canada.
Yeah, I'm just double checking that, because I can't think of anyone else who's played 50 caps and never scored. And that's true. Baxter. Oh, Baxter. From the New South Wales Waratahs. Directing his 116 kilograms to good effect, and his first try, and the conversion is close, but not close enough. So,
well, you wonder if that's going to build Australia's confidence. Good hands there, good power. Nothing Morgan Williams could do this time around. But Australia have dominated the territorial exchanges. They've dominated possession. It's just the mistakes which, you know, you could put a lot of them down to the conditions. It is very, very difficult.
First knock on. So, a bit of...
Lyndon, can you confirm the time, please? For the
stop. The clock has gone wrong.
It's 29 minutes gone, lads. 29 minutes gone. Thank you.
If you're hearing all this, I hope you are. 29 minutes gone of this first half. Took a long time for Australia to get the first try of the day. Nice switch by Munro. Just about the first three-quarter attack that's been mounted, and Munro is feeling confident and offloads well to John Thiel now. And as ever, the home crowd just delighted to do all they can to lift the underdogs, especially against Australia. No, that was foolhardy. What on earth? Advantage for something. What on earth induced someone to fly Hackett at that particular moment? I mean, that is hot-headedness or what? Or was it accidental?
Well, I think Chris White has come back from the knock-on there. The ball just gets released forward, I think, and...
well, it was intentional. It was James Pritchard.
Yeah, not a smart piece of play.
Clever.
You'd want to, in these sorts of conditions, you want to get a body on it and claim the ball.
Absolutely. Stay on number 6, stay on number 6.
Half an hour played. Monroe.
Take the front, Walshy.
Just 26, the fly half. Now he's joined the Waterloo Club, ex-Edinburgh. His opposite number, Julian Huxley from the Brumbies, law student in Canberra.
42, 36, 46, go!
In between, I guess, the small gaps left in his full-time rugby career.
Stay here.
Baxter. Well, trying to force the issue in the midfield. It's just looks half pace. That's not a bad ball, putting it in behind the backs, but well picked up and well played by Van der Merwe. Morgan Williams. Dan Mensah-Coker. It's not very impressive, is it?
No, it's not. It's a bit of a scrappy match. He did well to do it, but I think it was Mike James got picked up there for obstructing Mensah-Coker, or obstructing the person trying to tackle Mensah-Coker.
Captain George Smith there. Haven't seen so much of him as yet. Most capped back row forward in Australian history.
That's lovely. Please talk to him. Please talk to him, yeah. Number 1, pulling down, yeah.
But I have to say, with all due respect, Australia just look as they don't want to be here.
No penalties.
No, and yet they're dominating, really. I mean,
yes.
You know, they've dominated territory by 73 to 27. They're dominating possession by 68 to 32.
And one try to show for it. Good work in the line-up, Mark Chisholm then. Now this could actually bring the pack some reward for all their efforts. They're over the line, must be a score. Doesn't need a video referee for that. Okay, that will do. Well played, another front row Union try. Adam Freer this time. And believe it or not, that's his first try as well. Perhaps this is all what it's all about. They're trying to get everyone who's never scored a try, trying to get a try today. Look at him rumbling through and underneath. Shortest, but still one of the strongest. This man who started out with Randwick, and he's only had 15 caps spread over 5 years. This is his first start for 2 years.
Well, it's interesting. Australia did a terrific driving maul from about the first line out they had in the match, and they drove Canada back by about 30 yards. This is only about the second time they've done it, and I'm surprised that they've not tried to set up these driving mauls, just particularly given the conditions and particularly given the strength and power that they have up front.
2 tries, halfway to a bonus point. Those sort of things are fairly academic now. Kicking's not going so well for Julian Huxley. Not easy in these conditions, but comes above their professionals.
Well, it's not too much of a concern that he's missing kicks in this particular match, but...
have a look, make sure there's nobody in front, okay?
So Sterling Mortlock usually has those...
Yes,
those duties.
Indeed.
Very reliable.
As long as these sort of question mark people are going to be fit, that's a problem, of course. And then there's Berwick Barnes, who seems to be a very
no, stay there now.
Promising talent.
You haven't listened.
Haven't seen him before this World Cup and been mightily impressed.
I told you didn't listen.
He's got some sort of niggle.
Please listen to what I'm saying.
Some sort of little injury problem. Go away, Colin Hughes, says referee Chris White.
I give 5 minutes.
Anything down there to cheer me up, Tulson?
Well, if you'd like a bet, I could probably tell you to put your money on Hugh McMenamin and Sam Cordingley, because they haven't scored a try either. But as far as...
You've been doing your homework, right?
I have been, haven't I?
Wouldn't that be a special bet?
It would be at that. It would be. That would be the bonus point. But as far as the conditions down here on the sideline, Nigel, it started to come down heavier again. There is no wind. I can't see any wind coming from the southeast as it was pre-match, so I think at this stage we could be stuck with it for the remainder.
I keep looking for you, and I thought you looked as though you're underneath one of those covers that the cameramen have got.
I am. I'm down here